Okay, what if I told you there's a single light bulb in a California fire station that was turned on right around the turn of the 20th century, and it just never turned off? I mean, seriously, it's outlasted its creators, the company that made it, and it's watched over a century of history from its little spot on the ceiling. So let's get into the incredible story of the light that never went out. So here it is. This is the Centennial Light bulb, but I absolutely love its nickname, the Anomaly, because, well, that's exactly what it is. When it first flickered to life, it was a pretty standard 30-watt bulb. Now, more than 120 years later, it gives off this gentle 4-watt glow, kind of like a nightlight. Sure, it's dimmed, but it has never died. It just keeps on burning. So how is this even possible? How did this thing come to exist? Well, to really get it, we have to go all the way back to the beginning, to a time of wild invention and a world that was just starting to get plugged in. See, this bulb comes from a totally different era of manufacturing. It was made by the Shelby Electric Company and invented by a guy named Adolphe Chaillet in the late 1890s. We're talking hand-blown glass and a super thick, really durable carbon filament. This thing wasn't designed to be replaced after a year. It was built to last. You know, its story doesn't start with some big, grand plan. In 1901, a local businessman sold his power company, and as kind of a parting gift, he just donated his leftover stock, including this exact bulb, to the local fire department. It was just a simple, practical donation. It could have been used, broken, and tossed in the trash like any other bulb. And for decades, that's all it was. It just did its job, lighting up firehouses day in and day out. Honestly, most people probably didn't even notice it. But that all changed in the 1970s. This humble little light bulb was about to become a star. The whole story blew up in 1972. A reporter, Mike Dunstan, heard these rumors about an ancient bulb at the fire station that had supposedly never burned out. He got curious and just started digging. He spent weeks talking old-timers, digging through records, and he was the one who pieced together the incredible, unbroken history of this light. After Dunstan's article was published, the world started paying attention. This wasn't just some local myth anymore. We're talking Guinness World Records, Ripley's Believe It or Not, even General Electric. They all looked into it, and they all came to the exact same conclusion. This was, officially, the longest-lasting light bulb in the entire world. But then, in 1976, the bulb faced its biggest challenge yet. The fire department was moving to a new station, and now everyone had the same question. How on earth do you move a 75-year-old artifact with a super fragile filament? People were terrified that just trying to unscrew it would make that delicate carbon filament just snap. So, the firefighters made this really bold, really drastic decision. They decided they weren't even going to try to unscrew it. They figured the only safe way to move it was to leave it right in its socket and just cut the cord. It was a massive gamble. And for the first time in decades, the light went out. The cord was cut. The whole town, and by now, people all over the world, just held their breath for exactly 22 minutes. Those 22 minutes were the only real break it's had in over a century of service. It was moved in a specially designed box with a full fire truck and police escort for its short trip to the new station. Then the electricians carefully rewired it, everyone crossed their fingers, and the light came back on. The legend had survived. Then, fast forward to 2001, the community threw a huge party for the bulb's 100th birthday. Think about that for a second. A birthday party for a light bulb. By then, it had officially outlived the man who invented it, the company that built it, and every single one of the firefighters who first installed it. So, yeah, it's a fantastic story. But why are we still so fascinated by this little light bulb? What does it really mean for us right now? Well, today, it's treated like the treasure it is. There's an official committee of guardians dedicated to keeping it safe. And this group is this amazing mix of people. You've got the local fire department and historical societies working alongside top scientists from national laboratories. The Livermore Pleasanton Fire Department has actually made a formal pledge to house and maintain the bulb for the rest of its life, no matter how long that turns out to be. It's not just a piece of equipment anymore, it's become a public trust. And I think this gets to the real heart of why this bulb matters so much. You know, in our world of constant software updates, fast fashion, and phones that are basically obsolete in 2 years, this little bulb is a radical symbol of persistence. It's like a quiet protest against our disposable culture, a reminder of things that were actually built to last. And that kind of leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. This bulb is a relic from a time when durability was the goal. So as we look at this tiny century-old light, it's worth asking ourselves, in our endless rush for the newest and the best, what pieces of permanence, quality, and persistence have we maybe lost along the way?